Alright, should be recording. I just want to see the file. Yay, it's there. Going medieval, it's early access. Queues provided by Tinsley PR for the Irregular Corporation. And yeah, this I'm going to try to keep a short one. Gonna have a busy day today, including shoveling. Yeah, we're getting hit by. I mean, right now it's a fair amount of snow, but potentially we will be getting lake effect later. Which, if you know lake effect, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Actually, I don't know how much lake effect varies. Here, though, it can mean like, oh yeah, you get 6 inches of regular snow. Okay, here's a foot and a half. I do have some things to talk about, including this game got an update. Not a major one. Well, it's major to me, but it's not a it's not a major version bump. Why is it important to me? Because fix the issue that caused the appearance of food reserves on stockpile low despite having enough resources. Let's see if that's the case. I don't see it there. I know that had to be, because it's like you can't have food reserves are low and stuff is going bad because no one's eating it. That doesn't make sense. So at least isn't there. Fishing piles that are spawned as a result of fishing are reserved by a fisherman. Normal wild animals reserve those piles. I'm not sure exactly what that translates to. But after completing fishing, settlers will haul their catch to a stockpile. Haul needs to be allowed for this to work. But it's like, yes! I don't remember what junk it is. And hang on. Yes, that is what I need. There. Because this needs iron, and that's the way to make iron. Also says that humans and animals can now drown. Lovely. I mean, sure, that's fair. It makes sense. There should be that kind of danger, but it's also they shouldn't be so stupid as to get stuck. The heck? Hello? Yeah, get these. I'm out of here, especially since, I kind of want them planted. You know what? I'm going to do going to seed for now. And it does still give some food, so. Okay. Okay, good. Those have gotten moved. And they are being used. Yay, I have cabbages again. Another thing that I have noted, and I've got another thing I can just talk about. Oh, hang on. I just realized something. Yes. Pause these. I don't think I need them right now. So he can go do other things. So I've not, I will acknowledge, I've not looked. It's true, is hang on. I want to look something up. I don't think there's going to be any use. Like, it has to be ingots, right? Like, oh, how do you make? How do you make it, though? Okay, these I'm just gonna assume can be forever. But how do you make the steel? I don't know, and that's a very important question. Like, is that from iron ingots, or I'm just gonna look it up. I mean, that should legitimately be in the game. That should have been in the almanac. Anyway, Like, if it's made from iron ingots, then I'll just have all the iron made into ingot. Okay, it is made from iron ingots. It is created in a smelting furnace using iron ingots and fuel. Perfect. Then this is just forever. Which means all of these are also forever. So another thing that I saw, and it's been a busy week, so I've been doing other things. But I did see the thing about some executive at Ubisoft, which apparently there was a larger context to it. Like, he's in charge of the subscription stuff for Ubisoft. Apparently made a comment that gamers need to get used to the idea of, need to get comfortable with the idea of not owning games, not owning their games, which that's set off a firestorm. But apparently it is with the context of, for subscription to work, that's what people need to get used to. Which that's a fair comment, if I'm honest. Let's try to get those up. Yeah, I mean, I can't fault the guy for saying that. That seems accurate, but it is still, it provoked people to talk about the whole ownership of game stuff. And one thing about that occurred to me is these people complaining about, no, we need to be able to own our games. How many of them purchase on GOG? Because there's the whole, hey, it's DRM free. Yeah, there's that aspect. But there's another that I think is worth noting. So this game got an update. I mentioned that. I cannot play this game on Steam without that update being installed. So let's say it were an update I didn't like for some reason. Like, it causes some problem that people have reported, and it's not been reverted or anything like that. Whatever that problem is, I'd be stuck with it. There would be nothing I could do to stop it. Okay? Because Steam forces you to update all the way. GOG, you can decide not to install an update. Or if it does install, if you do have auto updates installed, you can revert. Like, it's possible to go back. That is possible. So, and it's like, to me, that is you should be allowed to play the game in whatever state it's in whatever state you want. You know, it's just, the whole, to me, that this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This, we need to have, no, ownership of our games is so important. But then you also, don't try to own some of them. But then you will still give up the ability to play it in the state you wish, you prefer, and so on. So, but I did see GOG at least tweeted out something about how, hey, you want to own your games? Well, that's what we're here for. That's what DRM free means. You can actually own them. And I mean, hey, good for them for calling that out. But it is still, what I saw concerning the comment, there is a context to it that does explain it. It still is I do disagree with the whole, we need to accept the idea of not owning games, not owning the things we purchase. And I did see one person make an interesting argument related to that, well, if we can't own them to begin with, then how's piracy theft? It's like, that's a fair question. I mean, it was weird seeing some people trying to argue that it's not theft. The piracy itself isn't theft. It's like, no, it is. Because they're like, you can't steal something. It would be copyright. It's like, basically they're trying to argue that because it isn't a real physical product, it isn't theft. It's like, there's intellectual property theft. There is the whole idea that the person who produced it desires a transaction for it to go to other people. I mean, it's like, the whole, I write a book, I make an ebook version of it. I choose to put that out there for sale. If somebody just, gets the file somehow and, breaks it. Well, actually, no, I tend not to turn on DRM at this point. But if they would just pirate it, it's like, no, that is theft from me because I did not put it out there for you to just take without any transaction there. And, I mean, yeah, I'll grant that because I technically do have stuff that is, that could be subject to piracy. It never will be because no one reads my stuff to begin with. And by the way, I'm holding back a sneeze a little bit. Anyway, so it's like I am a little sensitive to the concept of piracy, but no, it is a kind of theft because you are still harming somebody by taking it, because it's like whoever they created to sell it. That is the intention there. And when you just take it without any transaction there, without purchasing it, that is a theft. And it's also, if you want to say that, oh, but it's not theft because there was anything physical, it's like, okay, there's a lot of intangible things that can, in theory, be stolen from people. So, I'm saying, what would that? Yeah, how about this? What about your identity? That's an intangible. Does that mean it's not that ID theft is fine? That there's nothing wrong there? Or even just stealing Bitcoin. That's totally intangible. I mean, so is that not theft? If that's the case, then there's some people that would really like to know that. I mean, it is such a nonsense claim. And if anyone's going to be like, well, Bitcoin can be, transferred to money. So's that book that I was talking about. So's that game. All right? Like, if I have a book and I'm selling it for $3, it has a value of $3. It can be converted to $3 if you were to just barter it. Okay? So guess what? It works just like Bitcoin. So... But, yeah, I mean, it does just... Some of the stuff with it, I feel... With the whole... piracy and theft, I feel it's people that have either never thought of it or are trying to rationalize their own bad behavior. Then no, I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not hurting anyone by doing it. It's like, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are, because you have no right, you have no claim to it. And the person who created does have the claim to expect, does have the right to expect compensation for their work. That is exactly how that's supposed to work. But one thing, coming back to the larger thing, I don't like the idea of subscriptions for games. I'll be honest. I've never liked the idea. Because it's like, sometimes you just don't play the game that much. I'm like, here, I've got so many games installed between the systems. But it's like, wait, this Left 4 Dead 2 update? Anyway, but it's like, here, Satisfactory. I used to play that a fair amount. But then I stopped. I don't even remember exactly why. I think it was just I got busy with other things and I haven't come back to it. And there's a couple reasons for that. One is, with the update to UE5, I am a little concerned it might not run so well on my desktop. Since my desktop does have some older components. So it's like I'm not doing that. I could play in the test system. I put it on the test system so I can play it there. But I just haven't. I haven't been doing that. I've been busy with other things. But it's like, if I had to pay a subscription for that, well, here, actually, I can look. Last played November 24th, so we're talking, about 3 months ago. I also just got an email about a review. I don't mind talking about that very slightly, because I don't want to name the game. And my brain just turned off. Oh, yeah, with the subscription stuff. It's like, it's like, maybe I wanted to, actually, even November 24th was probably, I just played it for an hour or two that day, and that was it. Actually, no, that is exactly what happened. Because I knew I hadn't played it for a while, but played it for a little bit, then I stopped. And it's like, I would have needed to pay it to re-up the subscription just to play it for like 1 or 2 days. It's like, that's a terrible idea. I mean, I get it for some games where it's like, okay, there's a server infrastructure that you're also having to support, but there's another issue connected to that, though. Is that and this is very much I know I've been choosing the wrong words for putting it for how I want to explain this. I understand the idea with something like an MMO that that the servers need to be funded to continue working. I get that. But at the same time, I have such concern about habits there, where you set the habit to play a game that makes it worthwhile how much you're being charged for the subscription. But then what happens when the habit is broken for whatever reason? You're going to stop playing, but you might not stop the subscription. And that can be a significant issue. At least I see it as an issue there, because then it's like you're paying for something you're not using. And potentially it could be a lot of money. But it is also, I can see MMORPGs having certain exemption from that in a way. And I do feel I should explain what I mean by that. I can see an MMO, you played with your friends. So it's a habit with your friends. So it's not so much I don't feel like it, so I'm not going to play anymore. We'll just say I got busy, because it might be well, true, you can get busy and that can be a cause to break a habit with a friend. But it still is, I could see that working out where it's perfect. Thank you. It took you way too long. But thank you. That should have been day one. Anyway. What was I saying? But like I could see like using World of Warcraft as an example for an MMORPG that does have a subscription. I can understand that where you are playing, you're paying for it, but you're also like every Saturday night, let's say, you play with your friends. Or you've made friends there, and that's just a regular schedule that you have to play the game with them. In which case, then, the subscription is basically to support that friendship, which is a weird and almost sad way to put that. But it still is... It makes some sense in that context. Why didn't she pick that up? Anyway, that's a little annoying. But still, it's better than it was. So it's like, I get that. I can understand that. You know what? Go ahead and eat the eel. I don't know how much I'd want the eel anyway. What are you upset about? Disillusioned? What the hell is that? No one is deprived of religious activities. They're both right here. You know what? Okay. It might be that they can't actually access it. I don't know. I do not know. So we'll just move that up. I don't know how I could shuffle that around to give the space needed. Oh, nice. More chickens. And just happen to have a dog living with them now. But, yeah, and there is also that element. I mean, if you're having to pay a subscription, then yeah, technically that is, you don't own it, because in order to access it, you have to be paying. I mean, I'll also add that so the whole habit forming aspect with some gameplay is definitely very important. You know, wait, they were praying at that. I have no idea what is wrong with these people. Okay, you know what? Now that that's out of the way, there. So it's just they're on different floors now. I did used to play Path of Exile for amount, which is a MMO, ARPG. I think it's technically described as. It's like, yeah, I used to play that a fair amount. But a couple things got me to stop playing. One was that I just lost interest, lost caring about it, lost the habit. And I also didn't it's not like I did have friends that were also playing it, but we basically never even tried, but we didn't make a concerted effort to play together, I guess would be a way to put it, to set a schedule, set a habit. But there was also one thing where I was doing one of the hardcore runs, and the way I got killed is just like, this is bullshit. It's like, I'm sorry, I know I try not to, but it's like, no, it was terrible, because it was an enemy and had like a frost nova, fire nova, some sort of ability named something like that, and I look at it and say, what the hell is this? Because it basically, you get near it, and it just starts doing this dance kind of thing, like it crouches down and just sends out a wave of attacks in 360 degrees around it, and is firing them as fast as the tick rate, potentially, and it just obliterates you. It's like, I've never encountered this ability before. There is no reason it should be that freaking bad. I mean, it's basically, if you do melee attacks, this will injure you. You will not be able to avoid it, and it is attacking so fast that, and with such power, that it's going to kill you. It's like, if you are melee and you see an enemy with that ability in a hardcore match, you just need to run. There is zero you can do about it. That is not fun. Why would I continue playing a game that would have a design like that? I'm saying, it legitimately is like, why? For one thing, why would I ever touch hardcore when it's like I can be killed like that? So yeah, I mean, it's. Sorry, I just, as I think about it now, the frustration is coming back, but it is definitely an issue there of also design with some of the stuff, where even though, and they never made money off of me because I never purchased anything from Path of Exile either. Marvel Heroes I did. Unfortunately, that shut down for various reasons. But I did consider that better, though. That was much more fun, and I don't think it ever had. Well, some of the raid bosses, raid encounters, probably had things like that. Overpowered, dumb attacks, but it wasn't. You know, it was a fun game. I get it. Path of Exile is supposed to be difficult. I get that. That doesn't mean it's not a pain in the ass when it does that to you, when it pulls that kind of crap on you. Okay. There. No more work. Just do whatever. Like, I seriously don't know what he wants. Yeah, everyone's able to pray now, unquestionably so. And I mean, what is his thing anyway? Oak Brethren, which I think is... No. Oh, no, it is this one. Yeah, so he can definitely go there. He just isn't. This is still working. I guess it's not surprising. I've got a lot of iron ore. Yeah, habits are so important, and I do think that it's something some people may not always recognize. Just how important habits are. For things like, you know, playing games. And if that breaks for somebody, I mean, it becomes quite a problem then. Because how do you reform somebody's habit? Like, you know, using Path of Exile for the example there, how would you reform my habit to keep playing? I'm honestly not sure. I mean, I think it would be if I had friends in there, but then I'm playing it for the friends, not for the game. Oh yeah, and that also reminds me of another game, Warframe, where I played that with, actually it was the same friends for a little bit. But that game, it just wasn't fun to play alone. It really was not fun, because I'm somebody who likes to, if you've seen other gameplay footage of me, I like to be thorough. Like, I will clear out every enemy in a level, in a lot of first-person shooters and third-person shooters and stuff like that. Yeah, actually, I will. I will be stopping now. as I said, I want this to be short, and I can finish up. And oh wait, no, I also want to talk about that. But that's fine. I can still do this. I will clear out every single enemy. Well, Warframe is a terrible game for somebody like that. It is. At least it was, or maybe I should say was. The reason why is because it okay. Is because you have a limited amount of ammo on any map, and that's but an unlimited number of enemies. So it's like to play solo, it is exactly counter to how I want to play the game. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, there is nothing else to say. That sucks. There. Sorry, I'm just taking care of some email stuff since I'm out of the game. But one of the things that I wanted to mention is I've just as a sort of update concerning the yes, I need to take care of that later. Oh yeah, that's right, I can mention that a little bit. I got a new mouse for the test system. Yeah, the one that Cooler Master provided me with for the test system, which I'm still very grateful that they did provide that to me. What was that, 2 years ago now? It was great, except for one thing. It being wired and the way I had to run the wire across my body, I kept like getting the wire caught on my feet or on other things, because like the test system has to be on the ground. I don't have space for it anywhere else. The back I/O where the mouse is plugged into is on the left side. I'm right-handed, so it has to go over to my right. The wire is not perfectly making contact inside the mouse anymore. So I ordered a new mouse that is actually wireless, so that issue's resolved. And I will name it. I got the I want to say Rocat, but it's actually Rocket, I think is how you're supposed to pronounce it. ROCCAT Cone XP Air is what I got, because I got the Cone XP, the wired version on the desktop. I've been happy with it. It's like, get the same thing. It's available in wireless. Yeah, I'll get it in that for the test system. So that way it's the same experience between them for me. And I even set the profiles to, at least they should be the same. I didn't check it on the desktop. Didn't open up that software. And that, by the way, is one thing I will also add is nice about it. I'm not. I purchased both of these. Let me be clear. I'm not shilling for it. But one thing really nice is that the drivers don't need to be running all the time. What was it? I've had a mouse before where you actually did need the drivers running. Oh wait, that might have actually been a previous Rocket mouse that I had, where I needed the drivers running all the time. I don't quite remember, but it is. There have been. You can the driver software is really just software for managing the profiles that are kept on the mouse. I know that maybe it's just I remember too long ago gaming mice where no, you needed the drivers running all the time in order for the mouse to work. But that's not the case with these, and that is nice. And that is also the case with the Air. The one thing is the lighting can be a little weird. It's like I have a profile set, be red. I turn that on without the drivers, without the Rocket Swarm software open, and it doesn't always remember. And I also set the charging base to not have its lights on. Its lights will be on until I turn the thing on. And it's like, whatever, that's not that big a deal. But yeah, so it's just that kind of small update. I mean, that shouldn't impact any review in the future, but it is technically a change to the system. Just trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, yeah, I can mention that. Yeah, I got an email about... So I got a review key for a game this week. Let me actually check. When is that review embargo? I think it's coming up, but I don't have time. I do not have time for it. Okay, it would be next week. Yeah, and yeah, I've just been busy with other things, so that is not forthcoming. And I'm just gonna. They did send a check-in email, which I do appreciate, by the way. I do think that that's a good practice. for a PR to reach out. And if they sent a key and just, hey, what you doing? That is good practice, especially because, I mean, for one thing, it helps having a relationship that is more personable. Because I mean, say I'll be replying that no, because I've been busy with various other things going on at the moment. Oh man, I know told him before. I'm working on a book. It's like it's still true. It took me a year to write the first draft, and that ended like 6 months ago, maybe. That I finished the first draft, but it's like I've been editing it. I've been doing other things. I've got my day job stuff. I mean, just yeah. Also, that one, it is an interesting game. And I could talk about it because it's actually an early access, but I don't want to name it. It is interesting. I do see that potentially being appealing to me, but it's, no, not appealing enough for me to disrupt the schedule that's already, I've got so many things I need to be doing. So, yeah. I keep track of all this stuff, though. I can come back in the future. I mean, it's just, if my schedule changed, if my schedule opened up, yeah. Yeah, it's just not in the cards at the moment. Just trying to think if there's anything else to mention. Nothing's really coming to mind. I did say I wanted this one to be shorter. Just past 30 minutes, it seems. Yeah, nothing more is coming to mind. So, yeah, I hope you all have a great weekend, great week. I'll see you next time. And for those of you in the path of the snowstorm, I hope you can keep warm. And also, this may sound weird, but I'll still say it. If you have a snowblower, do not use it on your roof. It's like, for those of you that don't know, yes, they have warnings. Don't do that. And some people don't understand why. Those are people that don't live in places where, well, if you don't get the snow off of your roof, it's going to collapse in. Just that there is a reason why. Fortunately, that's not where I live. No roof should be in danger around here, but if you are, no, sorry, you gotta use something else. All right. Yeah, so see you next time.